Now, without a doubt, the very ending of The Mandalorian Season 2 literally reunited the Star Wars fandom. Ever since the very end of the sequel trilogy, we had this great divide between the fans. And now we can see what Peyton, Dave Filoni, and Jon Favreau have done with the final episode of Season 2 with the character of Luke Skywalker. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one exciting aspect about the future of Star Wars is that they already have over a dozen Star Wars projects in the works on Disney Plus alone. Let that sink in for a moment there. Over a dozen Star Wars projects, whether it be live action or animated, doesn't matter. Altogether, that is a lot of material that Disney is working on, completely separate from the movies, and of course the other projects like video games. So they really are going all out with Star Wars right now in order to make up the mess that is the sequel trilogy. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Dave Filoni is that this is a man that is very dedicated to Star Wars lore. We have seen what he has done with Star Wars Rebels, the Clone Wars, and yes, even aspects of The Mandalorian Season 2, especially with the character of Ahsoka Tano. We got a glimpse into the first batch of new Star Wars shows that are in development, one of which is the Ahsoka Tano series, which, by the way, Filoni is working on right now as we speak. So that's great news. However, what's really exciting is what Filoni actually has in store for the character of Ahsoka Tano. Now, with The Mandalorian Season 2 now over, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are busy working on the Ahsoka Tano series, the Book of Boba, as well as Mando Season 3 and 4, that is set to give the fans a ton of big surprises to come in the new Star Wars universe. It's described that recently after The Mandalorian Season 2's universe, it's described that recently after, of course, all of this, the overall finale, Dave Filoni was able to provide some teases of Ahsoka Tano in her new series for Disney Plus. At one point in time during a recent interview, Dave Filoni teased that what's to come for Ahsoka Tano in her new own live-action show is that it will tap into the supernatural, and that aspects of what you see in Season 4 of Rebels will be a big focus on the show for Rosario's character. Filoni went on to reveal that we got some very surprising characters coming our way for the Ahsoka show that fans are going to fall in love with, as well as some surprising ones that will be unexpected to the actual fan base. Now, further from that, it's described that Favreau went on to unveil that Ahsoka, or should I say Filoni, will evolve as a character in a very specific way that has to do with a component from Rebels Season 4 that the fans are going to have fun with exploring, as the series will open up tons of questions that will be answered in other projects for the franchise. So let's stop right here for a second, because given that Filoni has worked on the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels and really dedicated a lot of his life really to Star Wars, he really is the true protege of George Lucas. You know, we didn't really have Favreau per se associated with Star Wars for a very long time until he really came on board when Disney took over. You know, eventually he was very upset with how The Last Jedi was treated, came on board, fixed things up with The Mandalorian Season 1, and really got things rolling again. I mean, I tell you, we all have to give Favreau credit. At the end of the day, he is the man that really brought it all back. But Filoni, alright, Filoni is a different deal as well, because this is a guy that really focuses in on the lore, like the real deep Star Wars lore. He knows what he's doing. And that's exactly why in the animated projects you have Mortis, you have, you know, Mandalore, all these crazy, you know, angles to Star Wars that we never really necessarily got to see in the form of live action, that now they are going to fully explore more of that in future seasons of The Mandalorian and future Star Wars projects and more. So that's great news as well. Now, Filoni, having worked on the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, because he was the one involved with those two major shows, is that the Ahsoka Tano series is going to deal with the supernatural. Now, I don't know about you guys, but from what we actually talked about a couple of weeks ago, of how they are planning the Ahsoka Tano series to really dive more into the Force lore, and how it is going to have something to do with the worlds between worlds. When Filoni teases things about the supernatural, there is no doubt about it that that has to do with what we talked about a couple of days ago, of how yes, the worlds between worlds will be a major component in the Ahsoka Tano series, which is already in development as we speak. So the worlds between worlds, we have not seen that realm since the very end of Season 4 of Rebels, and now we're going to finally be able to see it in the form of live action. In fact, if you guys take a look at the logo of the Ahsoka Tano series, it basically does indeed confirm that of what's matching up with what we have been talking about. If you look at the logo, you can see the same exact patterns of the worlds between worlds from what you see in Star Wars Rebels version of the worlds between worlds. So that's a major deal. Essentially tapping into an aspect of time travel in the Ahsoka Tano series. So like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.